and then I am going to roll. Where did I put the theme music? Where did I put the theme music? There it is.
Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman, joined by my co-hosts and fellow mad scientists, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. And this week, we're joined again by Jay at Dusty_Penguin_112 on Instagram. Hey guys, how are we and why are we doing this?
I'm just going to say something really quick. I read something recently as a quote from Bill Gates, and he said he likes working. He likes having lazy people work for him, not because they're lazy, but because they want to find easier ways to do things, right? And that's what drives innovation. Because if you're lazy, you want to find a solution that doesn't cut corners, and that's good in technology. It makes advancements, removes interim steps on processes that take much longer for some people. It doesn't apply to entertainment or storytelling or writing when you have laziness. So I wanted to let people know, not all personality traits work across the spectrum of different occupations. You need film writers that are not lazy, because Inspector Gadget is rife full of that.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Bob, how you doing today?
Oh, doing well. This is exciting for me because in Pittsburgh, we only film so many big-named movies every so many years, and this was one of them. At the time when they were filming this, it was big news, and then it actually hit theaters, and we kind of slowly backed away from the movie.
Yeah, not surprisingly. Jay, what's up, man?
Yeah, I was having a good day until I watched this movie about an hour or two ago.
Oh, so it's fresh.
Yeah, now my day's ruined.
Yeah.
But I'm here, so that's fun.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. The movie definitely ruins days. That's all it's ever done. Anybody who says otherwise. I guess we'll get to the YouTube comment and we'll see. But we should just jump right into bad reviews, guys, unless we have anything else we want to mention.
Nope.
Not really, no.
Okay, cool. So James Bartonelli of Real Views. We've gone to him before. He gave the movie a 25 on Metacritic. Disney has struck once again, taking a passably entertaining cartoon and turning it into a motion picture so lifeless that it's almost unwatchable. Nathan Rabin of the AV Club gave it a 20 and said anyone older than 8 is likely to find it a ridiculously extravagant exercise in stupidity.
Yep.
This is bottom of the barrel as far as I'm concerned. It's too dumb for kids, even. I just don't understand it. But why don't we throw it to YouTube comments to see if someone can give us a different perspective on it.
Okay, I only brought one in, so brace yourself. The 1999 Disney movie Inspector Gadget is by far the best live-action Inspector Gadget film adaptations. Sure, it did started the sequel 4 years later, but the first film, I think, did it the best, because that is where the adventure begins, and it shows how a normal person becomes Inspector Gadget. Even though it got a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, it is at least very entertaining on its own. Matthew Broderick is a great Inspector Gadget, and it's his best Disney role yet. You could definitely tell the difference between his performance and the French Stewart's, and he is way over his character. He played not only a great hero, but a great villain as well. Also, the entire cast in the movie is great, including Rupert Everett, who played Dr. Claw, otherwise known as Sanford Skullx. He is a good actor, and he did a great job playing a villain. As with the second movie, you could see it has tons of problems along with a new cast replacing the original cast from the first movie. Unlike Inspector Gadget 2, this movie works so well it's actually hilarious. Plus, you get a car chase, explosions, robots, a hospital operation, Robo-Gadget goes on a rampage and destroys the city. The final battle between Inspector Gadget and Robo-Gadget, and a happy ending. Not only that, this movie has some crime, sci-fi, action, and romance too. Other than that, I love how funny the movie is. This is a comedy done right to where an animated TV show from 1983 that hasn't got its own live action adaptation after being off the air for 13 years of being on television for 3 years. Plus, it's another Inspector Gadget adaptation that's classic. Although there are some kids from the 1980s that saw the TV cartoon series and they think that is way more better than the Matthew Broderick Inspector Gadget movie. You should find time to see them both. They are both worth watching, and I can recommend to everyone who loves Inspector Gadget. Rather, if it's in cartoon, animation, or live action.
Okay, I have
What's this
two things.
at gunpoint?
Yeah, here's two things. One.
Yeah.
Two. I think that was someone on the writing staff because not only did that sound like someone who has an interest in this movie, but it sounds like it was written by the same sort of person. It's the same kind of intellect.
It's my daughter wanting to write a review and me letting her sit on my lap and just bang at my keyboard for an hour.
I was just going to say, I think Chris cut him off before he had a chance to say, and my mom's coming to tuck me into bed. I have to stop writing now.
Hang on, did they say the best live action?
Yeah.
Ever.
That's a bit raging. That's a bit raging. That's raging there.
It's there are others that I would go to first, I think.
Yeah.
But you know that YouTube comment actually transitions us to the first test perfectly, and I'll show you why in a second.
Okay.
So let's get into test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Is this film the best of the worst or the worst of its kind?
Okay, so Inspector Gadget 2 with French Stewart was the first one I picked out. I wasn't going to because I assumed it was even worse, but it got a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes. George of the Jungle, which we've done on the pod with Brendan Fraser, got a 55, if you remember. I think our jaws dropped when we heard that.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace with Walter Matthau. Now, my jaw dropped again when I saw this score. It got a 27.
Wow.
I couldn't believe that. With Christopher Lloyd, too, he does such a good job.
I remember it being fun. I don't want to rewatch it now because I don't want to tarnish that memory.
I want to cry. You cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah. Honestly, I not only do I remember it being good, but I watched it not that long ago, and it really doesn't fall off very much. I mean, Christopher Lloyd's like homeless drifter character is pretty creepy. The story makes sense from start to finish. Walter Matthau is pretty dynamic. It's a pretty good movie. I don't know what the deal is. Richie Rich with Macaulay Culkin got a 26. I've never seen that one. Is it bad?
Yes.
It's fun if you're 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So unlike Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Okay. Stuart Little with Michael J. Fox got a 67. I haven't seen that one either, but that one's totally animated.
Yeah.
That gives us an average of 43. And Inspector Gadget now has a 20. So that review didn't even ruin the Rotten Tomatoes score. It has plummeted another 7% since whenever that person wrote it.
Okay.
So that gives us a negative 23, and it is the worst of its kind.
Cool.
So I've already jotted that down. We'll jump right into test number 2, the plot pitch.
Hey, God, hey, man. Hey, what? You want to hear my movie idea? No. 3, 2, 1, go, sir.
Security Officer John Brown. We're thinking Matthew Broderick because we don't want him to be likable. Dreams of joining the police force. One wonderful night, he gets his chance. He and any true character development are blown to pieces by the evil Claw, who also gets an origin story in record time. Brown is surgically reconstructed by doctors in a RoboCop fashion, but with useless tools instead of guns. He must now track down the bad guy that he doesn't remember interacting with and deal with his many minions, including a RoboCop construction made to look just like him, but with weapons, but no guns, but with Tommy guns. In the end, he saves the girl. Yes, he has a love interest, and beats the bad guys, and becomes the inspector that he always dreamt of being. Rob, would you make that movie?
How much is it going to cost me?
You ready for this?
Sure, yeah.
$90 million.
Oh,
well,
shit.
Nothing surprises me anymore. But now, when you say like RoboCop, can we make him like a really shitty RoboCop?
Tremendously shitty. We're gonna put like faucet knobs in there. We're gonna put like slinkies, all sorts of stuff that you never see again. We're not sure why it's going in there. What the use would be? You know, unless he's MacGyver as well. We don't know why they're going in there. Like that kind of shitty.
Okay, so just because I was talking to you guys off air about maybe I didn't talk to you about this off air, but the producers with Matthew Broderick, and the whole point of that movie is he was an accountant with a playwright, and he said if we make something that totally fucking bombs, we actually could walk away with more money than if it's successful because we got to pay back our shareholders. So following Matthew Broderick producers logic, I'm gonna make this movie because I don't think we're gonna make our money back.
Okay, so a little Pittsburgh embezzlement.
Yeah.
Oh, shame on you. Okay. I don't know. I grew up with this cartoon, and maybe it's just me putting too much personal into my business, but I don't like seeing my cartoons ruined by live action, especially for $90 million. So I am out. It's all you, Rob.
Okay.
Jay, how about you?
Yeah, I'm gone. You've lost me. I'm not making it. Get out of my sight.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a tiebreaker right there.
That would be 30 million between the three of you. So
yeah,
I would need a star grade from you guys as well.
2.5.
No, I liked it. It was 3. It was a good pitch.
Oh, thank you.
I'll go 3 as well.
3 as well.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be like what, a 2.8 or something in that realm.
2.83.
2.83. Thank you. Good to have a mathematician on the squad. All right, let's go with test number 3, the worst dialogue. After the bumper.
The worst movie ever made presents the worst dialogue ever made.
Okay, boys, I hope you're all ready for this. I did my best. This is 2 weeks in a row where I felt like I couldn't. There's no way that I did the best job possible because I just can't pull one line from another. I don't know what's worse than what, and so we're just going to go for it. Starting with number 10, this is Claw, who is I don't remember the actor's name, but I actually don't think he was too bad. Rupert Everett, thank you. Here's a line right in the beginning, and it doesn't bother me so much, but I have a couple of questions. So he says, as he's being chased by John Brown, the security officer, he says, "Oh no, we're being chased by the hatchback squad." And then Sykes says back, "Hey, I have a hatchback." So are hatchbacks a sign of being a dork in the, what was this, early 2000s?
I think they always have been, because I have a hatchback and I'm ashamed of it. It's because like we have the car seats in the back and I'm driving with like my knees up to my chest, just like that the whole time. So I could see why that would be a thing.
Okay. I have another question though.
Sure.
He's being chased by the hatchback squad. Isn't the rule that a squad must consist of more than one person?
I think even more than 2 or 3. I think a squad's like in the several range, if I had to guess.
Right. So you know how sometimes we replace the line. I like hatchback hero. Oh no, we're being chased by the hatchback hero.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9. This is Gadget Mobile. You have to wear a seatbelt. It's a Disney movie. And this is going to bring up the very many self-referential comments made by mostly Gadget Mobile. But what do you guys think of breaking the fourth wall, as they say?
I'm okay with it. I know Nickelodeon had a huge thing about it. You know the show The Angry Beavers? They the reason that show suddenly went off the air is because they were going to do a series finale, but the series finale was scripted as like Norbert and Daggett knew they were gonna be canceled and they had to stop the show. And because there's a fourth wall clause in their contract, and they didn't want to like compromise their artistic vision, so they just never aired the final episode and they stopped playing it. So I was like, I'm a fan of it, but I can see why for kids you shouldn't mess with it because like you're kind of like you're putting them in a world that's like a fantasy, and then you're letting them know it's all fake.
Right.
Yeah. When a kids movie goes for the adult hook, I don't think this is the way to do it. I think because that messes with the kids' sensibilities. I agree.
Yeah.
Number 8. Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say like I'm remembering like a totally different movie here, Deadpool. Known for his fourth wall breaking, but it's for adults. They can get it. They know what the whole difference is. But use that fourth wall breaking for kids. It breaks the the fantasy sort of thing.
Yeah, I think
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all agree. That's a good pull. Pool is a good pull because that is fourth wall breaking. That makes sense, and it's kind of funny that he's like so psychotic that you can tell he's in a movie. But yeah, I agree that it's not for kids. Number 8, you remember this is also in the beginning. The old lady security member. I've seen her. Does anyone know what else she's in? Because it was bothering me, and I didn't bother to IMDb it, but I've seen her face times before.
Lady security. What scene?
Right in the beginning, when John Brown comes in and he's like, I'm gonna try to pass the police test or whatever, and she makes fun of him.
No, I don't recognize her at all. Actually,
I've seen her. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I've watched a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so she says, we have an intruder on the premises in a black van, and the Gadget says, where? And she goes, try the big hole in the wall. Now, this is so bad because the van literally just sped by Gadget at like 70 miles an hour, and he told them to slow down.
Yeah.
And then turns around and doesn't know what she's talking about. Black van.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Totally incongruent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to our first clip of the day. This one's called Hands.
Hands coming right up. I don't have a clip called Hands. Give me 1 second.
That's the one I just had you shove in there, Rob.
Oh, I called that claw thing. My bad.
Too bad Hook is taken, huh?
How about Captain Claw?
Oh. No.
Or Santa Claus.
Just Claw. One word. Like Madonna.
Well, anywho, Captain Sir Mr. Claw, I know how much you like to maintain an active lifestyle, so I have managed to design a few interchangeable options. Hi.
Oh, very clever, Kramer.
Oh, very clever.
Very clever indeed.
Well, first we have the opera hand for those special nights out. And I know how much you enjoy Japanese food, so I made you a sushi hand. See there? Tasty. Also, I don't remember if you enjoyed the medieval fare, but
Kramer, that's enough. So
Andy Dick carried that scene. I'm not gonna say anything otherwise.
He's not bad. He's not bad. He's one of the. I'd say he's top 3 as far as this movie's concerned. I'll surprise you later, but when we get into test number 4, I'm actually going to mention. I already mentioned that I didn't think the guy who plays Claw is too bad, other than when he gets really over the top at the end.
Yeah,
but there is a another person. Go ahead and think about it. Maybe you can guess.
Okay,
but we'll get into that later. Number 6, Gadget to Brenda. She says, he says, I borrowed a book from your dad, Power Learning Through Speed Study. It took me forever to get through
it. Yeah.
Tried. They really tried.
Yeah.
They tried to get anywhere.
They needed a comedy writer. I don't think that they should have just like pulled Chappelle or something and then really like only taken the most timid of his jokes or something, That's
the thing is like this movie is only like an hour and 20 minutes, hour 18 minutes, something like that. So something went terribly wrong with this film because they definitely shot way more than that, and they had to have had people at some point trying to punch it up at least a little bit at some point. So I don't know why it fell so flat and why it was so short, because that's where all the incongruities come from too. Is because like they're missing scenes. I think. I don't know. This whole movie pisses me off.
That very well could be. All right, number 5. Brenda says about Gadget when they find him in the trash heap. It's a miracle. He doesn't need the chip. And then Penny, his niece, says, "It's my Uncle John. That's what it is." Which I had to go back and make sure that Brenda had something, like had said something that makes sense for Penny to follow with that.
Yeah.
So she says, "It's a miracle." And then Penny says, "It's my Uncle John." But I didn't catch it like right away. And it sounded really bad. And it does actually make sense.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it would actually be a literal miracle, right? Because isn't the chip his power source?
Yeah.
It is, except in the beginning they said as long as you have a good heart and you don't need the chip, it's bullshit either way.
Like faster than the speed of love. One of those things.
Right. Number 4, Brenda. She says, "This is bad. Come on, Penny. We've got to find him. There's something rotten in Riverton."
That's a Hamlet reference.
Is it?
There's something rotten in Denmark, yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe it shouldn't be number 4. To me, that was completely out of left.
It is. I mean, the fact that it's a reference doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't belong there.
Yeah. Can't throw a Hamlet into a kids movie, for God's sake. Put like Godfather reference in a kids movie.
Yeah.
You can't put Hamlet in a Chris movie.
Yeah.
So they were not considering me and my lack of Brit Lit knowledge, apparently.
You're better off without it, don't worry.
I actually didn't hate Brit Lit I went to community college like down the road, and I took literature, and I didn't hate it. I thought The Green Knight was pretty good.
The Victorian shit gets really funny because they're all like sexually starved, like bourgeoisies that are just like huffing on bath salts or whatever. I don't fucking.
All right, guys, you ready for our next clip?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let's do Cyber Freak.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a thing of beauty, Quimby. Future of law enforcement reborn before our very eyes.
Yeah, Columbo, Nintendo, all rolled into one.
He'll make you obsolete. No overtime, no hazard pay, no blue flu. And he won't call me Evil Gadget behind my back. Oh, by the way, what do we have in the Artemis Bradford murder?
Well, we got a limo with no license, and we got some scrap metal from whatever it was that broke into the lab.
Do we at least know what was stolen?
According to Dr. Bradford, a robotic foot.
Robotic foot.
A robotic foot? What kind of a cyber freak are we dealing with?
I hate her.
I really went back and forth on that, whether I should throw it into worst acting.
Yeah, it belongs in both, probably.
Most likely. I'm just shooting Jay a message. If you guys have anything else to say on that, I'm just going to see if he's all right over there. Jay, you good?
No, I'm just saving my comments for acting.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
she's pretty rough. Honestly, she has such a small cameo, though, that I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm not sure if she even shows up. I did hate her too, but she needed to be somewhere. And the whole, what did she? His laptop crashed.
Okay,
that's cool. I'm trying to get back on.
Yeah. We'll keep going, and he can hop back in whenever he's ready.
What did she say that the chief calls her behind her back, like little Gadget or
Evil Gadget?
Evil Gadget, and I've never heard Gadget before. Is that?
That is a reference to a 1960s sitcom that no kid would ever know. Honestly, I barely knew it, and I watched Inspector Gadget as a kid, and And I'm the primary audience as an adult for this, and I still barely knew it.
Yeah.
Did you? I didn't bother to look up, but I think the chief also makes an English patient reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when John Brown is becoming Inspector Gadget, he's in a full body cast.
Okay.
And the chief is like, "Oh, you're looking better than the English patient over there, or whatever." And I didn't get that either, but I didn't bother to throw that up there. So
I think the English patient was only a few years before this movie, so that's a topical reference for a kids movie.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I assume it wasn't a kids movie, right? The English patient itself wasn't on it.
Not even close.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about, but if it's a full body cast,
that's someone with Ray Fiennes, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Ray Fiennes, but number 2, this is Gadget as he's being pulled behind a car, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Go Gadget skis. Go Gadget water. Go Gadget mommy." that one made me lean forward in pain.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It's a sign
Not
of
good.
bad writing when you're going to tropey cliche line and line delivery.
Okay. Yeah.
They tried too hard for the cartoon hook, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to our last clip and the number 1 worst line of dialogue or exchange here. Why don't we get a junk science?
Oh, right. Junk science. Let's do it.
Gadget.
Oh, hello, Brenda.
Are you breathing?
I think so.
How's your centromolecular equilibrator feeling?
Feels pretty good.
And how's your autoaxle lubricator functioning?
It's functioning fully.
Oh, Gadget.
What is it? Is my occipital piston slipping?
No. I just never realized what beautiful brown eyes you have.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. A little creepy.
Yeah, is it this one or is it the second one where he makes out with one of the female love interests and like the fireworks come out of his hat? Is it this one or the other one?
He has fireworks come out of his foot in the end.
Oh, okay, must be his foot. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have a whole conversation about the romantic interests and what that entails a little later. But I think it's a little creepy that. So for me, when she mentions that he's beautiful brown eyes, I thought they want us to feel like that's romantic because that's all he really has left. That are like unadulterated, non-robotic equipped piece of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's either that or he has 2 buttholes.
I didn't even think about what you said, Chris. That's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't think of that either. I just want to make the butt joke.
Yeah. Like Steven Seagal and the one on the back of his head. I've got 2 holes in the front of my head. Yeah, that's gross. But also, obviously, I hate junk science, so this had to be number 1 for me. I had a through line that I thought was pretty interesting. I think, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you other boys had heard the Wild Wild West episode we did. That was season 1, was it?
Yeah, like episode 6.
Yeah, I think it was 6 or 7. And so I'm thinking of Gadget, this whole movie, like Dr. Lovelace.
Mm-hmm.
Piece back together, and he's supposed to have like this weaponry at his disposal coming out of places you wouldn't expect. And oddly, it came to my attention that Brenda Bradford's father's name was Artemis, which is Kevin Kline's name in the Wild Wild West movie, and he's the gadgeteer, making his own inventions and things.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty weird. Another terrible movie. Just thought that was interesting. Do you guys want to move on to test number 4?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. It's called The Worst Acting. Take it away, Rob.
Test number 4. The worst acting. Naturally, we'd use the Catwoman thing for this one. Yeah.
Let's jump into some clips. We've got one here, and then I'm going to just talk about a couple things before we hop back in. So this one's called The Foot.
It's weird. What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about how much you remind me of your mother.
Wait a second. Wait a second. That's it. It's animated by will, not by thought. By your heart, not your head. Come on, try it again. Do it again. We did it! We moved the
Bob, do you know the actress's name? Go ahead, Jay.
No,
The
just
actress.
like, jeez, this thing.
I was wondering, Bob, if you know the actress's name.
I do not know the actress's name, no.
Do you guys feel like I don't think she's very good. But I feel like this is another one of those situations where they're really their performance is dampened by the poor dialogue that they're supposed to perform on screen. I think the part where she's like, it's with will, not with your not whatever motivations, whatever, and then she's like, your heart, not your head. It's so like what a middle schooler would write at their graduation ceremony if they were to speak in front of the whole school. Did you like Robo Brenda?
Okay, all right, that's a good point.
Brenda had more emotion than normal Brenda.
That's true. She definitely had more sass, some more vinegar. That's a good point.
More than Wanda last week.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm not on the attack of the actresses just in general. If I know that the last couple go rounds I've been very hard on the actresses, but it really has nothing to do with the fact that they're female. I swear to God.
Maybe it's just that the you don't get as many good names from the fairer sex in these kind of movies because they're like, I don't want to do this, whereas guys are just like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I mean, if you're talking like just by raw numbers, I think there are less well-known or respected female actors in these kind of movies.
Fair.
It's a good point.
It is a good point. And I think it's actually, I might go as far as to call that a fact because usually you do know the lead actor and that's the linchpin of the movie, and then they hire somebody who's trying to get their career off the ground.
Yeah.
And then they crash and burn because you just don't see this female actress in a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
Or at least I haven't.
Which is different from the comedic actress, because the comedic actress would be Sherry O'Terry, who played the mayor, and she played a cartoonish comedic part fairly well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can give her that.
She was aggravating, but she did the job they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Broderick, his acting post-surgery, I didn't pull any clips from that because there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue, but like when his head goes through the ceiling and he lands on Brenda and he has to act like he's like super robotic because he doesn't understand his body yet.
Yeah.
Was horrible.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd bring that in. Okay, here's Jay. Why don't you start off with? Do you have a guess for who I think was actually good in this movie? A smaller role. There's your hint. A smaller role, but actually pretty good.
The dog who played Brian.
Good answer.
Yes. I will say yes, but that's not specifically who I was thinking of. Although I thought he delivered dialogue at the end of the movie better than most. Anybody want to throw a guess out there? Who I thought maybe you guys will agree. Smaller role was actually pretty damn good.
Andy Dick.
Well, I did agree with you earlier, but that's not who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
The police chief, Abney Coleman.
Yes. I thought the police chief was very good. I didn't. It was really one scene for me that pushed him over. You know when when Gadget goes into the chief's office to demand a more important job with the police force because he's been saving kittens and shit like that. The police chief is actually so good at like turning him down and turning him away that I was actually really surprised. I figured that made me wonder if this guy was like, you know, one of those like legendary actors just took like a paycheck now because he just doesn't, you know, need it anymore. So he just took the money. Yeah. I didn't really look into it.
Dabney Coleman is a fantastic comedic actor.
Okay, thank you.
I recommend you all watch Short Time with him.
Okay.
Short Time. Okay. I thought he was. Do you guys remember the scene I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, when he's saying you're just a PR stunt for the police department, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It reminded me of it was
one of
the same like
scenes.
delivery. Yeah. It was like the same delivery from the first Spider-Man. The fucking who's the cigar news guy with like the flat top.
Oh, Jonah Jameson. It's J.K. Simmons.
Same kind of like telling get more pictures. This is all you're good for. Blah 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 blah. Like my ass, the America's all over my ass. Like that whole thing.
Yeah,
kind of remind me of that.
Well, that's a compliment if you're comparing him to J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
that guy's good. All right. So why don't we hop into our next clip called "The Heart."
No, Uncle John, wake up! Please don't tell me. No. The NSA chip is gone. Disney chip. It's got the heart. Do it all by himself.
I just noticed a theme with the clip titles.
Yes, there's a theme.
Yeah, but it's like it reminds me of when James Hetfield's naming off body parts, and Lars is like, "This sounds like some kind of monster," and then they named the whole song that.
Yeah. Gross.
That's all I had to say.
Nice reference. Yes, I went with the titles are all body parts because it's Gadget, and you know, just anyway.
I got you.
Yeah, good call, man. I thought that was pretty poorly delivered on both Penny and Brenda's part there.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
Penny say the NSA chip?
I think so.
I think she did, and why though?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Inspector Gadget 3, he's working for the NSA now.
Yeah. He's just reading tweets all day.
He's just rescuing cats, but for the NSA. All right. Two more clips. This one's called "They Were Wrong" because this doesn't have anything to do with body parts.
Okay.
Gadget here. Oh, it's about Brenda, partner. Yeah? Skolek is taking her to the roof. I'd save her, but I can't fit in the elevator. I'm on my way. You know what they say about nice guys finishing last? Huh? Well, they were wrong. Go-Go Gadget Oil Slick. Toothpaste.
I think it's impossible to have any sense of heroics if you're trying to also be a comedy actor. Like, I think you need to break that down and don't like crust yourself in the comedy and actually deliver the hero line like a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I think it's too diluted and it sounds like shit, like that just did.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's. Brenda and Gadget are going to share the last one in a big head.
Okay.
Go-Go Gadget air brakes. Go-Go Gadget airplane brakes. I don't want to go-go anymore.
Didn't you read the manual? Try something else.
Go-Go Gadget glider. Go-Go Gadget balloon. Go-Go Gadget parachute. Go-Go Gadget giant trampoline. Go-Go Gadget circus net. Go-Go Gadget feather bed. Go-Go Gadget hay wagon. Go-Go Gadget bubble wrap. Go-Go Gadget parasail. Parakeet. Paraglider. Parasol. Umbrella?
John, you did it. You saved our lives.
I did? I guess I did. Wowzer.
Just watch out for the big head.
Understood. You know, arrogance can sneak up on you, and I've always...
No, that big head!
Yeah.
This like. So, have any of you watched Warehouse 13?
No.
No,
the sci-fi show. Okay, so like in the first like few seasons, right? Like the main characters, like one of them's like, "Oh, how do I do this?" And the other character's like, "Oh, didn't you read the manual for it?" And that's like the whole like main joke throughout like the main season. This reminded me of that. Like just bring up like, "Oh, didn't you read the manual?"
Yes. Okay, Jay. Thank you for that. Because this was going to be a catch-all conversation, just an open dialogue. Why don't we just have it now and get it out of the way?
Okay.
It maybe is my biggest catch-all too. And is Brenda brilliant or is she inept?
Inept. Totally inept.
Okay,
Totally, hopelessly, ruthlessly inept.
Because the reason I ask, and Jay, like I feel like we're on the same page. We know John Brown by his introduction is an idiot, right? He's like he's a good-hearted idiot, who's doing the right thing, and you love him, and you expect him to do the smart thing at the end, which never really happens. He just gets lucky. Right there, an umbrella pops out. But the problem is with this movie is he is constantly it's one of the features that you have to say go gadget whatever.
Yeah.
He uses a thumb lighter, he uses a finger pen, he uses a pinky cell phone, he uses all this shit without saying go. The umbrella was after he said parakeet, parachute, paraglider, I think, and an umbrella pops out. He didn't go any of those, and he never said umbrella.
He said parasol.
Parasol. Okay, even worse.
Which is an umbrella.
Oh, okay. I think I'm thinking of Barbersol. I was thinking of shaving cream. So even better. But he didn't say go. And my point is, all of that. I mean to wrap it up. Brenda. There are so many kinks in his hardware where he doesn't say go, or he says say go Gadget Oil Slick, which he wouldn't just throw out there. He must have read that in the manual.
Yeah.
But toothpaste comes out instead, for instance. And repeatedly, because he uses it again against the bad Inspector Gadget. He actually says go Gadget Oil Slick because he knows toothpaste will come out.
Yeah.
Is Brenda just like really like high on LSD while she's building? Like maybe she's brilliant, but also like just completely gone in the clouds as she's building?
Well, I'll give you my defense / offensive to Brenda. Brenda is an engineer. I don't know if you've ever worked with engineers before, but mechanical engineers are brilliant and space cadets at the same time. They they can't invent the entire device on their own. They deal with the technical stuff, and then someone else deals with the practical stuff, and then it creates something wonderful. She's only the technical stuff, so I feel like that trends to her profession. Which made me upset, but because it works.
That's regular research and development. Like, yeah, that's spot on. Like like Steve Jobs had the vision, but like a million engineers underneath him like designed the iPhone. If Steve Jobs went into the lab, he'd have like a hammer and a rock and like a light bright and hope something happens, you know?
If you hammer a rock enough, you make an apple.
Yes.
He'd have a working touchscreen with no actual apps.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, why don't we throw it to this whole ad ordeal that's going on now?
Yeah, they sent me a movie trailer, so let's see what's up with that.
God.
So to the worst movie ever made, brought to you by Man Without Love, an action-packed Engelbert Humperdinck exclusive. Humper is 2 days from retirement, but minutes away from danger. The heist of a lifetime. A briefing at the Ramada Inn. A locked briefcase with undisclosed contents. A dangerous drop-off. Self-destructing mixtapes. Walker chases. Lesbian seagulls. Multiple fingers of brown liquid. Multiple fingers doing other things. So many fingers. This August, brace yourself for $100 million soiree with the world's most darling, middle-of-the-road ballad singer in his silver screen debut. Engelbert Humperdinck is Man Without Love. Rated NC-17 for reasons. So, I can't wait to see that
fingers. So many fingers.
Can't wait to see that one. The good old Humper.
I had an Engelbert Humperdinck single 45 record as a child. Just so you know.
Yeah, my grandpa listened to Engelbert Humperdinck. Yeah, I remember seeing he had a big case that held like 200 CDs. And I would just read them all to see if there was anything in there that I liked, because my grandfather was eclectic with his music selection. And I remember reading his name for the first time, and I read it like 20 times because I was like, "There's no way that's somebody's fucking name."
The best thing about Engelbert Humperdinck, you want to hear this?
Yes,
that's his stage name.
Wow! So he chose to be Engelbert Humperdinck. I can't even say it to this day.
Yeah, Engelbert Humperdinck. I'm pulling it up right now. Engelbert Humperdinck. His real name is
John Steve
Arnold George Dorsey, known professionally as Engelbert Humperdinck.
That's so weird.
He picked that. He thought it up.
Neither are acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This just brings me back to Electra. Fuck we recorded Electra and all their names at the end.
Oh yeah. Don't you worry. I've got bad credit names coming at you this time as well. All right, we got to throw it to our new little game show we've got going on. Bob Hassick's Fact or No Fact. Why don't we hit that bumper?
The worst movie ever made presents Fact or No Fact.
Okay, everybody. We are at Fact or No Fact, Pittsburgh Film Edition.
Nice.
We have a film that was filmed in Pittsburgh. That would be Inspector Gadget. So I have 5 bits of information that are 80% fiction and 20% factual. And you guys have to figure out which the 20% is. And we have 3 contestants this week.
Okay.
Oh, we have Chris, Jay, and Rob. So let's see. Let's go right to it. Okay, the first fact or no fact. Though filming took place in Pittsburgh, none of the leading characters actually traveled to Pittsburgh using green screen technology to put them in the scenes. That's number 1.
Okay.
Second one, an exact replica of Claw's headquarters was built in Los Angeles to film all the close-ups of the roof of the building? Okay, the third one. One of the largest budget items filming in Pittsburgh was the closing of a bridge to film the Gadget versus Gadget fight scene. Okay. Here's a good one. Dabney Coleman, your favorite, the police chief, is actually from Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh native and took the entire crew to his favorite restaurant when filming wrapped in Pittsburgh. And the last one, Andy Dick, our favorite, was overheard calling Pittsburgh an armpit of a city, creating a local news actor to refer to him as the aptly named Andy Dick when reporting the story.
Wow, these are really good.
So we have leading characters not being here. Second is Claw's headquarters. Close-ups were filmed in L.A. The third was the bridge was the largest budget of the entire movie. Dabney Coleman took everyone to his favorite restaurant, and Andy Dick was referred to as the aptly named Andy Dick.
I'm gonna go with the Andy Dick because like, I've followed enough of his career to like that seems like it would track because he kind of makes an ass of himself. He's always fucked up. He says stupid shit and people get mad at him.
It's one of my three favorites. I'm thinking the no travel. I feel like Broderick at this point was just happy to be in a movie and the girl's trying to get a start. So for them to not travel to Pittsburgh, I feel like is a little bit of a stretch. I don't think they closed the bridge because it didn't look like they were on any major bridge at actually like any real point. Like you could have shot the shopping cart on a bridge scene on a bridge the same size as like Jackass 2 or whichever one that was where they did that stuff. And obviously it's CGI'd when they're on the top of the bridge. So I don't feel like they closed the bridge. I actually really like the headquarters one. Because I'm thinking there's probably not actually a building that looks just like that because it's a little too evil. Like nobody's going to want to look that unappealing. But I don't know enough about Coleman, and I don't know if he's from Pittsburgh, and he seems like a nice guy. He's a comedy actor, so he's probably pretty cool. Maybe he took people to get steak and cheeses or something. I don't know what you get in Pittsburgh. And I believe that it could be aptly named Andy Dick. That's pretty plausible. So I'm going to go with the headquarters recreation in LA because that's what I'm leaning. Jay, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Andy Dick and the headquarters being factual.
Okay.
Rest being, well, BS.
Okay, so the only two I completely made up. Dabney Coleman was not from Pittsburgh. I made that entire thing up. Okay, cool. I made that whole thing up. Andy Dick made that whole thing up because I thought
Okay.
That was good. That was good, though.
That was good. That was really good.
Okay, my fault. There were three of them I totally made up. The third one was the actors all were in Pittsburgh. Well, at least most of them were, anyway.
Okay, so the first one, no travel, is also a fraud. Oh my God, I'm still alive.
It's also a fraud. So the bridge was actually closed. It was an actual bridge that was closed in Pittsburgh. However, Pittsburgh comped that entire thing. So it cost the filming production absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Oh my God. So the headquarters is real.
Headquarters is real. So the headquarters was a real building, but because they couldn't film on top of it, they had to build a replica in LA.
So I was half right. The building does exist. Okay, I wasn't fully listening. But you didn't get that off of IMDb, did you, Bob?
I did not.
3 in a row. And obviously I didn't cheat this time. All right, so you're in trouble. Right. You're in trouble. 5 more, and you're watching Spawn half speed.
Talk about White Castle.
That was a lot of fun, though. Those were tough. Those were really tough.
My entire intention is to impress the writer on our staff because he writes some really amazing stuff, and I do what I can to to do what I can to impress the writer.
Well, you got us.
Yeah. The half writer in me and the half writer in Rob are applauding you.
All right, good job, everybody.
Yeah, let's move on to test number 5. The most offensive. Then we're going to do the little mini game that I had mentioned beforehand, off air, which is super fun. We'll do the shit coin. We'll do the catch-all. We'll do our couple alternate ending and worst production. We will do Brad credit names for you, Jay, just for you.
Yes.
And then we'll
get
compare
into
the movie. And we'll get out of here. Okay, so test number 5, the most offensive.
Damn it! I am tired of being Santa Claus. You get your together and you get your ass in a damn car. We're going. Now, damn it. Okay.
All right, number 1. I mentioned this before, so I'll just say it real quick. If you have anything to add, go ahead. Children are not dumb enough for this movie.
Nope.
Number 2. This one, to me, is pretty bad. They got no consent whatsoever to turn this man into a machine.
Yeah. That was one of my first thoughts, was like, he's got to sign some sort of pain waiver or some legal document.
Obviously, yes, Rob, totally agreed. Because with RoboCop, he was going to die otherwise, I believe.
Yeah.
If John Brown had, I don't have the notes with me, but 44 fractures, a major concussion, and extensive internal damage, I think was the doctor's report. He was going to survive and be heavily, probably, I don't know, crippled. That's kind of a passe. Is that, you're not supposed to really say crippled at this point, I don't think.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guru ball joke with the high-pitched voice. We haven't mentioned that little segment yet. I found that heavily offensive just because who the fuck finds that funny?
The same people that want to watch, like, Don't Mess with the Zohan. Or the, the Love Guru with Mike Myers. It's one of those, like, you want to see it because... I mean, the Happy
Jay's
Mass movie...
third favorite movie, The Love Guru.
Movies, like,
no, don't mess with Zohan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's better. It's still not good, Jay.
You go into those movies knowing they're not going to be that great, but, like, I think this movie was trying to be that, but funnier. And not joke.
The typical adult saw that joke coming a mile away, and if the kid didn't, the kid shouldn't. It's a dick joke. A ball joke.
Right. So it was funny to no one. Why is
the kids will try that at school the next day?
Yeah. The one kid with the beard had so many like ball tugs that day. Here's my next one. It's not as important, but why is Skolek smoking a cigar in the department ball? And also, why is he even there?
That's a very good point.
I forgot about that.
I mean, I was wondering why Brenda was there, and then Skolix comes in. And he's smoking a cigar in the middle of the dance floor. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, why isn't he being escorted out? Like, why is he there?
Yeah.
All right, I've got 2 more.
99. Smoking was still allowed in a lot of places.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a good point.
Okay. This is the worst one, maybe. I'm going to go... All right, so I'm going to save it for last. I have 2 more, starting with a running Japanese man Godzilla joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great. Yeah. Not great. And here's my worst one, and then I'll ask you guys for mentions if you have any. But making a sentient fuck doll of your employee.
Sentient fuck doll. That's going in the write-up.
Robo Brenda is there to please. I guarantee.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, man, the way she was looking, you just have to know.
She is dressed to impress for sure.
Yep.
No, rumor has it that they made the Godzilla reference primarily because Matthew Broderick was in the Godzilla reboot like a couple years earlier.
In '97, yeah.
Okay, I didn't even make that connection. That's
me either until Bob just said it.
Yeah, I still don't think that was intentional. I think, like they said, "Oh, that's a thing." I think that was literally just something that writers thought of. I don't think that was. I think that was really offensive.
Yes.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
So like when in court and stuff like that, hey, have someone like typing down every single word that someone says. So it's like, oh yeah, like in the writing studio, oh yeah, let's like we're not going to actually use this idea. We're just going to think of it, and they say it, and this is someone like typing it down, ready to use it for the movie.
Yeah. Whoops. We sent off the mistake script.
they put it in as filler as like an edit later, and they just never edited it.
It's like, we'll just use it anyway.
It really it feels that way. Do you guys have mentions, or do you want to jump into the mini game I have on offer?
One quick one. There's no elegant way to say this, but like, does the talking Cadillac have to be like a sassy black dude?
Yes, apparently.
No, I totally agree. It wasn't. Yeah, there was something about it that didn't quite feel right.
It's like a voice actor looking for work, and they're like, "We need a sassy black guy. Let's typecast him." And he's like, "I want to do like dramas and shit." But
is he the only black character?
I don't think it was the only. I don't see color, Chris. So I
No, Rob, bad. Back that off.
This is twice that Rob has hit me with the race card. Season 1 he did this shit to me and I was scared, and now we have like 3 times as many listeners.
Yeah,
guys, I don't see color either. I don't hate women.
I do see color.
Will come into place.
I do see color, and he was the only primary black character, so that's a fact. And I read online in searching for my facts. I read that many actors were auditioned for many parts, and D.L. Hughley, who played the Cadillac, was pretty much the last person they asked, and he said yes.
Wow, really? I thought it's funny because I thought he had a good voice quality. Yeah,
he does have a good voice.
He's a great voice actor, but it's just like, I just feel like the people in the writers were like, we need that to do this. And
that didn't sound good.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. He's right though.
Yes, he is. All right. Unless you guys have any other mentions, I'm going to toss us into our little mini game.
Okay.
So that's a lie, because what I need to do first is ask you guys if you thought the dialogue was worse for this or Spawn.
Spawn.
I agree.
Spawn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the majority on this one.
Bob, you had mentioned how bad the dialogue was for Gadget, and I really was afraid you were going to go Gadget. You were going to go Gadget, but you did the right thing and you went Spawn. Jay, have you seen Spawn?
Yeah, with Michael J. White.
Yes.
Him? And I hate that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So do we.
Can I mark you down for dialogue?
Yes.
Okay, then it's unanimous.
Spawn's dialogue from start to finish.
It's horrendous. I don't know. I'm trying to think now because we got to do acting as well. I like Coleman a lot, as I had said. I thought Andy Dick was pretty good, and I felt like there was one other actor that I thought it did. The mayor does an okay job. I don't feel like Michelle Trachtenberg is that bad for. Is that her first name, Michelle?
I think so.
She plays that character on Nickelodeon, very famous. Anyway, I don't feel like she was that bad for her age. I'm going Spawn for acting as well.
Same. I think Inspector Gadget was a bunch of decent actors trying to make something unwatchable watchable, whereas Spawn could have been really good, and it just wasn't in any measure.
No,
yes.
as soon as Inspector Gadget started, every time they introduced an actor, I'm like, I love that actor, and they played their part fairly well. It's just, they were dealt with a really bad script. Rupert Everett.
Yeah, bad script, but also I think it has something to do with the take them seriously, but they are also a total cartoon.
Yeah,
it's George of the Jungle, but in
the Curse of the Jungle. Yes. All right, let's throw it to the minigame. Unless you wanted to say something else, Bob.
Speaking of actors, I mentioned Short Time with Dabney Coleman. I also mentioned Cemetery Man with Rupert Everett.
Okay. Cemetery Man. Okay, cool. These are things that I'm going to look into when I have free time. Here's our little mini game. So we're going to decide who is more offensive based on the matchups that I pose here. Spawn. The more offensive things in Spawn. They don't care at all about Spaz the dog. They leave the dog to find its own way home on a number of occasions, from Rat City, from the high school, from the driveway with all the doors closed. They do not take care of the dog. Or with Inspector Gadget, no consent surgery, which is worse.
No consent surgery.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, no consent surgery is
yeah.
I've gone on record. I've grown up with dogs. Like my parents always rescued dogs, and they're a part of my household.
Yeah.
But if it's not my dog, I don't love it or care. And I said that on air before. Like, I know it's a horrible thing to say, but it's like if I saw somebody else's, I'll make sure it doesn't get in danger. But I'm probably just gonna open up a post office lobby and just let the dog go in there and let someone else take care of it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
The dog will find its way home. Whereas compared to non-consensual surgery, whereas you don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Wait, Jay, save it. We're gonna get to that.
Oh. All right.
All right. Here's the other toss-up. So we're all going non-consensual surgery, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hiring the violator for your daughter's birthday party.
Right?
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or the Robo Brenda fuck doll.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna go with you. Go first, Bob. But I have some thoughts on this.
I think Robo Brenda. I really do think that's more offensive.
Okay.
And I agree with Bob on that because they didn't know his name was the Violator. They just went to the classifieds and hired a clown. They didn't know that was going to happen the way it did.
Fair.
It takes intent to make a sentient fuck doll and lots of engineering. Like you don't slip on a banana peel and fall down and wake up and have accidentally engineered a fuck doll.
Plus, it's an employee as well.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna actually beg you to disagree with these guys so that we can throw one more in here. Would you do that for me?
As much as I would like to agree, which I would in this case, but for you, I'll happily go with the Violator being invited to a little girl's birthday party.
Okay. All right, cool. I will go Violator as well, making it 1-1. Thank you, Jay. Hiring a demon to entertain children at a birthday party might be considered worse than the Robo Brenda has no. Some would argue that she still has no soul. She might be sentient, right? But does she have emotions? That's the Westworld question.
Also, I just want to point something out as well, which actually makes me agree with this whole Violator being more offensive. Robo Brenda is more sassy and Robo Brenda is more sassy and more, sexualized, I guess. But the Violator is so fucking annoying.
Right? What were the options? What were your options? In your local town, you didn't have a balloon guy. You didn't have the reptile lady that brings a bunch of snakes and geckos.
You couldn't just ask your neighbor to dress up as a clown.
I don't know. We're talking the 90s. There wasn't really much internet, and I was a kid, so I wouldn't be booking that shit myself. My parents would probably throw a dart at a classified ad and be like, "There's a clown, there's a magician. Like if you ordered a magician and you got like the amazingly Randy from South Park and he's doing cock magic in front of your kids, like you don't know he was going to do that. It just kind of happened that way. You leave a bad review, you move on with your life.
Okay. Well, look, guys,
calling child services then.
I have to push us into the this is so great. I have to push us into this is why Jay I begged for this, but here's the tiebreaker. In Spawn, we're gonna ask: is it worse to have a North Korean virus threatening to release and destroy the economy of the whole world these days? Sound familiar? Or the running joke of the running Japanese man? So we're going all Asian for this tiebreaker. What do you guys choose?
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna go with the Godzilla one because I've heard that joke in other shows, and I've heard way more tasteless versions of that joke, where they're doing the L and the R thing when they say Godzilla. But that shouldn't be in a kids movie because it's alluding to that kind of humor, and B, it's been done so many times, like it's just offensive as somebody who likes jokes.
Okay, so you're going running Japanese man?
Yes.
You're going with the running joke?
Yeah.
Okay. I will actually second that.
I'll third that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do lean that way as well.
Because with Spawn, like the whole virus thing, it has a point to it. Well,
yeah,
some would say.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole running joke was just put in there, like I said, no idea. They just said, it's like, we'll just put it in.
Yeah, we need another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll just toss that one in. But also, they didn't know that Corona was going to be a thing, so
yeah,
it wasn't in poor taste then.
That's what pushed me over the edge.
Yeah, and they didn't know then. So
for those of you that had Rob referencing South Park before Simpsons on their bingo card, it can mark a spot.
Yep.
All right, let's throw it to the shitcoin, Rob. You want to hit that bumper and we'll just get into it?
Let's do it. Okay, I'm just pulling up the text right now. And here we go. So this is from Nathan Portis Yazo. I probably butchered that. No hi or no hello, no introduction. Just have you seen my recent post about Bitcoin mining?
No, I haven't.
I got a mentor who knows how to trade real good. I'm learning and earning realty good with her. 100% invested 1,000 and I got back 13,600 as my profit.
That's pretty interesting. I'm sorry. I have I'm in a kitchen right now and people are doing dishes behind me, but that's pretty interesting. I'm sorry. I would like to find something new to keep me motivated.
I just invested $1,000 in Bitcoin mining and I got profit in just 3 hours. I made a withdrawal successfully to my Cash App and initiated cash out into my account. It's safe and 100% legit. Swear to God.
Does God approve of Bitcoin though? I just feel like I can't live up to his standard. I'm just a lowlife with a lot of money.
LOL. I hope you will jump on it. I will send you her page so you can also start earning as well. All you have to do is follow her Instagram page. Follow Sophia something. Hit her up. Now tell her that you want to learn about Bitcoin mining and earn real good too. She will guide you through the process.
I might not. I'm curious, but I'm also ready to let go. For good.
Hey, you say that, LOL. This is a real lifetime opportunity.
I'll just fail. I always lose. In love. In friendship. In life.
LOL. That's crazy. You can't fail and won't fail. You can give a try and you will see how fast it is. Contact the coach now. She will direct you.
What's her favorite color? I need a starter. No, never mind. I'm just too timid and depressed.
You shouldn't worry about all that. As soon as you start to see your profits, then you will realize what I mean.
Sorry, Doug's. I mean, I did some mushroom. I should probably tack to yellow tomorrow. Doo doop 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 doo doo doo.
That's great. Have you contacted the coach so you could will strat trading?
What is strat trading? This is getting confusing. I'm going to eat a ton of ice cream.
Have you contacted her already?
What? What? What?
Lean if you contacted the coach to invest and start earning as well.
Left or right?
All you have to do is follow her Instagram page. Follow Sophia. Hit her up now. Tell her that you want to learn more about Bitcoin mining and earn real good too. And she will guide you through the process.
I can't.
You don't want to earn big?
My gecko Marvin just died. Every time I die, just broke up. And I'm 13.
Okay.
That's the end of the shitcoin for this week.
Do you know what the most startling thing about that entire exchange was?
Terrible therapist.
What's up, Jay?
I said, what a terrible therapist. Lol.
I'm at my lowest in life. Anywho.
Lol.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, did you talk to Sophia?
Chris, the most startling part about that entire exchange was how uncharged your phone was based on the screenshots you sent me.
Yeah.
Your
Dude,
battery life was 3%.
I was living on the edge. What can
Living
I say?
on the edge, man.
It's part of the character, you know. I had to live in the moment. I'm a method actor.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the catch-all, and then we'll throw it to our newer segments, and then we'll do Jay's bad credit names.
All right.
The catch-all. That still gets me. All right, these are many. I separated the tropes and graphics. I didn't just mix them in because that kind of throws me off. So we're starting with just the loopholes, so to speak.
Yeah.
Brenda is a total bitch to John Brown in the beginning. Am I wrong?
Yep. No, she is.
She was immensely unlikable in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Brown goes up to her and he's like, "Hey, how are you tonight?" Like, not all that creepy. And she's like, ha, 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 you know, like just kind of shoves him off. And she actually says, "Well, I gotta," and then like makes a head motion, like meaning I gotta get in my car. He just like was talking about her father, you know, really bitchy. The head gear was strapped to Artemis.
Yeah.
He gets shot by one of Skolex's machines, and the headgear just falls off. Are we to assume that his head was crushed or something in some manner where the headgear was able to just slide off, or were we not supposed to think about that?
That's a good point.
Leave
I think
to our
not
imagination.
not supposed to think about it, I think.
Okay, yeah, because it comes off clean. There's no blood, nothing. Oh, yeah, actually, I think we see Artemis's head later, so it doesn't make any sense because the helmet is still strapped when it lands. So, it totally is just a loophole. Hey, that's Trigger from Friends. And Sykes is Trigger, but he's made to look a lot younger than he is. And for you movie buffs out there, he's also in Overboard with Kurt Russell, rather, and Goldie Hawn. If you hadn't seen that.
Which one was Trigger?
Trigger is Sykes, the one with like the mushroom cut, the minion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you believe that? He looks so much younger, but they gave him a clean shave and they gave him like a mushroom cut. Same guy.
Yeah.
Where does Gadget store the 30 gallons of toothpaste I referred to earlier?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, that goes for other things, like that head helicopter and shit like that. Where does he put those things? Because, I mean, he definitely refills the toothpaste.
Yeah.
He mentions oil. Where does he keep the oil in? Isn't that bad for your body as well?
Yeah, you would think. He's a well-oiled machine, apparently.
Mhm.
He goes on the job right away with literally no training.
Mhm.
So he just like gets out of the car and starts to tackle the prison break thing that's happening at the side of a Corvette.
Mhm.
Doesn't know the manual, which is like 1,000 pages long. No, actually,
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? Guns, Germs, and Steel is probably 1,000
Yeah.
pages long, and that's like maybe
Yeah.
a fifth of that. So that's a 5,000
Yeah.
page book. Definitely
Yeah.
hasn't read it. Why do intelligent evil men always have dumb henchmen?
I think it's like when you're a hot chick and you want to look hotter, so you keep a couple dumpy friends around.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. You keep an ugly chick by your side so that you look even better by comparison.
Yeah.
That's smart. He uses his hand. Oh, okay. I said that already. There are fast forward dynamics that I hate. I'm thinking specifically of when Gadget Mobile is going through the city to catch up with Claw.
Yep.
Looks like shit. I just hate that stuff.
Yeah.
Rob, we've talked about this before. Jay, I wonder if you agree. This to me is a 20-minute short that was go like arms stretched into hour 20.
And it's upsetting too because Minority Report with Tom Cruise, arguably not the greatest movie, but I thought it was pretty good. That's
It's
like
fine.
a three-page. That's a three-page short story.
It feels like if it were to be, it would feel like a 20 to 30-minute pilot for an Inspector Gadget live-action TV series.
Yeah. Also that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, yeah, that sums it up. Claus, bring on the brownies, wheeling the waffles. I'm ready to binge line. Did not go into worst dialogue because it's whatever, but I'm wondering. Okay, so I'm going to set the scene for you. They're in the helicopter with it's Brenda and Claw.
Yeah.
And Gadget is there trying to thwart the liftoff.
Mm-hmm.
Claw says to Brenda, "Don't you find me attractive," or something like that. And she says back, "I found you more attractive when you were heavyset."
Yeah. To
which Claw says, "Bring on the brownies. Wheeling the waffles." He's actually screaming. And he says, "I'm ready to binge." So this is bad writing in that I don't know whether or not he was being sarcastic because he doesn't give a shit, or whether he is Brenda obsessed. Like, I'm going to get fat again because I want you to find me attractive.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I felt that way, but then I was like, that's not evil, though. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's too worried about... And Brenda is not, no offense, not attractive enough to be that obsessive about.
Whoa,
Sorry.
that's all right, Brenda. Whoa.
Okay, can we quickly talk about the shot that Gadget pulled off with the pen?
I can't even remember that.
Okay, so he's in a helicopter. He pulls the pen out of a finger. He somehow rigs the pen so that it ejects the ink with the pen tip that hits a button that then on the claw that then explodes so that he cannot operate the helicopter anymore. But it bounces around like the magic bullet theory inside the helicopter before it hits the button. And somehow, because he met that guru once that he grabbed the balls of, he was able to calculate the fine mathematic precision of shooting a pen ink tube all around the helicopter at weird angles and into the button that blows up the claw's hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking outrageous. Should have been the most offensive. I was pissed off. I'll never watch this again. Definitely going to check out Gadget 2.
Also, I just want to point out the whole magic bullet theory. Think of like a normal bullet, how it's pretty small, but then go to the pen, which is obviously larger. The weight and stuff of that pen would not obviously be the same as a bullet. So how the hell would that be bouncing around?
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't have the kind of like velocity that it would need to even ricochet twice. That's another thing. Bob, did you catch that spot where the ink on the pen bounces around inside the helicopter and causes the helicopter like claw to explode, basically?
I did catch that, yes.
Jay said that the velocity of the pen projection, which I'm not even sure how he MacGyvered it in such a way that it was able to launch in the first place. But even if he was to get it to pop out of the pen with some force, it wouldn't have the velocity necessary to ricochet in the helicopter. And to further that point, would never have enough speed to cause the kind of explosion that it does when it lands on Claw's claw. Anyway, but I was saying the guru meeting was just enough for him to be able to do the precise mathematical angling for the shot in the first place. Yeah. So how do you feel about that scene, Bob?
Completely ridiculous. I don't feel anything about that scene whatsoever. It shouldn't have existed.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we are thusly agreed. We will move on to the next thing I've written down. We talked about anyway. I wrote Andy Dick. Rob's underwear was wet. The bad Gadget teeth. Rob, let's open a dialogue about that.
Did I text this to you? I think I might have texted it to you.
You did. That's why I prompted you.
Yeah, the only reason I think that was an afterthought right before production going, there's no way to differentiate between good Gadget and bad Gadget. So, like, let's give them, like, fucked up veneers.
Yes.
Like Tony Robbins' teeth.
And I think to bolster that statement, they actually make mention of how the bad Gadget. So bad Gadget says we're like you and I, only I have better teeth.
Yeah, and a spray
like
tan.
That. And it helps to defend the choice a little bit. Like, oh, we made the choice so that we can make the joke, but no, they didn't. You're right. It was 100% to differentiate them, because otherwise you have no. If they're so good at copying Gadget, why would the teeth be so wrong?
Yeah.
It never would be. Okay. They immediately arrest Skolex based on the testimony of his shitty mushroom-cutted minion.
Yeah.
Don't feel like that's realistic.
No, especially like when like that many millions of dollars worth of infrastructure is destroyed. It's not open and shut. That's years of litigation, like, and like bail bondsmanship and all sorts of shit like that. Where it's like, I know they're trying to wrap up a movie and nice and neat, but same thing with Spawn, where he comes out, he's like, I unwittingly participated in terrorism for 5 years. Like, yeah, you're going to jail.
Yeah, he's off the hook. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, how do you guys like this one? He's not an inspector. They never even call him Inspector Gadget in the movie. I don't think a single time.
No.
Oh.
They never fucking call him the fucking title of the movie, Inspector Gadget, because he is just a member of the police force.
Rookie Gadget.
What's that, Jack?
Rookie Gadget.
Yeah, right. It's Rookie Gadget. That's really good. So I wrote this brings me to my biggest loophole is Brenda brilliant or inept, but we already talked about that. So okay, Jay, you alluded to this earlier. So I'll just read what I wrote because I think it's funny, and then we'll talk about it. The fireworks foot implies that soon there will be hot nookie between Brenda and Gadget.
Oh no.
Yeah. This means that we are obligated to speculate on the matter of his hardware. So I ask you, what's going on down there? Yeah, we had to do it, guys. We have to.
All I'm going to say is they made it to be interchangeable. He has different parts for different occasions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Some are ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of flashlights.
Part of what I'm going to say here, but he just has a whole bunch of doors to interchange every time.
God, now I'm really wishing that I had my notebook from the Wild Wild West one, because I remember the Loveless line where he's like, I know you think that I am a useless paraplegic, but I promise you that I made a hard pumping piece of steel that is mechologically steely, and that really really creepy line. I'm wondering if did they, when they were installing all of his equipment, did they hook him up or what? That's what we're talking about here, right? Did they hook him up? Do we think?
Brenda was the one that hooked him up.
Yeah.
I'm saying 4 words: go gadget gadget.
Yeah.
Go gadget gadget. Yeah, I think the really really sad part though is that he's not going to feel anything.
No.
Oh,
shit.
He's not going to feel anything at all. Poor Gadget.
Poor Gadget.
And then the very next week, he takes on the role of Bad Gadget, where he is destroying the city, just only with toothpaste and with slinkies and stuff, because he doesn't have fire or Tommy guns. All right, I'm going to run through my tropes real quick in the catch-all. Stop me if you want to. The dog lick wake up.
Mm-hmm.
He has a dream sequence in the beginning, which is already tropey enough, but then, of course, he is woken by his dog, who is licking his mouth. The guru scene. What's that, Jay?
It reminds me of The Mask, Jim Carrey.
Yes, me too.
Yep.
Same here. Milo. Shiloh? Milo.
Yes.
Yeah. The guru scene is very cheap and overdone. The pop-out eyes, the blah, blah, blah. Let's move on. RoboCop, Dr. Loveless, mentioned already. Already there. And the Kiss revival. So he is a dead man. He gets kissed, and all of a sudden he is back to life, right? Yeah. Do you guys have any mentions on tropes?
I mean, the rookie trying to make his name in the police force, like the whole Rudy type of thing.
Gadget.
Okay. Yep. That's good.
What was his skin? Sorry. What did we bring up?
Anything like cliche or tropey?
The whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's RoboCop for kids, right?
Yeah.
I was literally going to bring that up before. Like, I kept bringing up RoboCop, and I was like, this is technically just RoboCop, but made for dumb kids.
Yeah, made for really dumb kids. All right, graphics. I'm just going to run through. Very Toy Story intro.
Yeah.
The body cast was super stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the Gadget Mobile.
Yeah.
There was plenty of bad CGI for his gadgets in general.
Yeah.
The bullet dance scene that you highlighted on TikTok, Rob, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Totally stupid. Complete with the airbag thing where his airbag gets popped and he flies around.
Yeah.
And the gadget chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Also very stupid.
Very, very stupid.
And finally, I'm not sure that on the worst movie ever made, we've ever talked about this. It's one of the things that irks me the most, and when it comes to bad graphics especially, talking animals are never, ever funny, and they always look bad.
Unless it's up.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. They put peanut butter in a dog's mouth, and the dog goes like... Then they have someone voice over it.
Unless they completely CGI it, which looks even worse.
Yes.
Like they make the animal's lips do things that the animal's lips literally don't have the musculature to do. So it looks completely unnatural.
Okay.
There's no opposable thumbs in there, no working mouth, jaw to talk. What is this?
Yeah, they try to make them as human as possible, but they're not human at all, so just looks terrible.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a few more things to do, and we should probably speed it up. Let's toss it to Bob Hassick's worst production.
The worst movie ever made presents worst production.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. I was just informed my wife has a flat tire, more like an exploded tire that I have to go change. So I'm going to get through this, and then I'm going to disconnect.
Okay.
So my overall, the overdoing of the cartoon sound effects was to push the whole cartoon feel of the movie, which I understand to a point. But if the overacting was pushed as if it was a kid's movie, and the sound effects were pushed as a kid's movie, then too many directors think that kids need that extreme everything push personalities of the film. However, kids don't need that when there are human faces in the film. Human faces, kids aren't stupid, right? They can read human emotion in faces, and when cartoons don't have that subtle, I don't know, different facial expressions that humans do, so they don't need that. And I think that filmmakers think kids are stupid, and they play to that, and that's, I think, why this movie failed. Also, this is just a separate aside from that entire theory, is that the green screen effects and the backdrops in the entire third act just pulled me right out of the movie.
Yeah.
I was already out of it by the third act, but that just ruined it for me.
Are you speaking specifically about the head chopper?
I think so.
Yeah, because when he starts flying around the city with his head helicopter, I was enraged. I had already been angry.
Yeah.
Seething with like the boiling hatred for this movie, but then there was an Icelandic volcanic eruption of pure seething hatred for the movie as soon as the helicopter came out of his hat. Just really rough, really, really rough. So I totally agree. Bob, can we quickly, last week, a lack of different scenery, color, textures, that kind of thing. They shot Spawn in like 3 different locations and they all sucked, right? That was basically your main argument for the worst production.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time because the production of Spawn was flawed through the entire production, whereas I feel like Inspector Gadget was more of the third act. Oh man, I don't know. I'm having a really hard time with this. I'm going to defer to you guys for this one.
Okay, well, we understand that you must go. You must save your wife, and good on you for it. And I'm sorry you have to go through that so late. That sucks. But you know, we'll look forward to hearing from you next week, and make sure to check out the back credit names, Bob, because it's going to be fucking wild this week.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'll listen to it tomorrow during lunch.
Okay. Well, we love you. Good luck, and have a good night.
I see you guys.
I see it.
Yep.
All right, so he said it's up for us to decide. So Spawn not offering much in the way of scenery. Bob had argued, Jay, last week that Spawn's production fail was that they had not offered us enough variety scenery-wise. It's Rat City and like an alleyway in Rat City, basically, or it's Wanda's house, or it's the cathedral, basically, where he's getting his like bullet cachet.
Is it ever daytime during Spawn as well, or is it always just night?
I think during the birthday party is about all you get for daytime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So do we feel like
always night?
Yeah, they definitely want you to have that dark, like edgy feeling in Spawn.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, the lack of like color definitely it makes it even more boring. Which Spawn is just boring to begin with. So I'm leaning Spawn because I feel like just a third act, as Bob was putting it, is not enough to win the category for me. Whereas the production for all of Spawn was worse.
I agree. Spawn was worse on this.
Okay, so we're going production. All right, so Rob, offer up your alternative ending, please, and then we will your alternate ending, and then we will throw out the bad credit names for Jay, and we'll compare the movie and go home.
Cool. And then this is the bumper that Bob made for this segment. This is a Bob exclusive.
You can do this, or you can do that, or you can do this, or you can do that, or you can do this, or you can do that. Just pick one.
Inspector Gadget runs out of toothpaste during the second Go-Go Gadget oil slick bit and thinks nothing of it. Years later, he gets a cavity. He quickly wants to seal the tooth, but realizes he's also out of sealant. In fact, he's out of a lot of things. Butane for his lighter, ball bearings for his roller skates, oil for his helicopter blades. His machine has always served him in times of need, but he has failed to serve his machine. Warranties expired, routine service calls were not made, and general life of neglect has left his bionic man suit worse for wear. It didn't help that he let saving the world go to his head. He turned his back to everyone except for the bottle and his trusty sidekick, Gadgetmobile. He didn't listen when Gadgetmobile told him not to drive, but he didn't care. He had he had to get some tail and maybe some pills to take his mind off the pain. As the vehicle was hurled into the ravine and slowly sank to the bottom, only the trees heard his last words. Go, go, Gadget, fleshlight.
That's the perfect way to end it. Yeah, dude, I never thought about all of the wear and tear that Gadget's going to suffer.
All the warranties, I'm on like 10 different apps for work, and they're all on different trials and service things. And it's like, oh, I got to renew Discord. I got to renew this, that. Oh, Zoom expired. Like, imagine that with like mechanical parts of your body.
Put together by different companies that have special contracts with your body.
The person that made the lighter for your finger they've been out of business for 30 fucking years, and you're like 65 years old and just want to light a cigarette.
Right, yeah, but Zippo's been done since 2015 or whatever is the future for this movie. That's awesome. You guys want to do bad credit names?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this one is fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
They were trying to do something, I think, to appeal to the children. And that is when they were mentioning certain so like in this instance it's party guests and the Minion you guys remember the Minion support group cameo like at the very end?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to read these off and then I'll get into my names. So the Minion support group is Mr. T as himself. Okay. Now, when it came to copyright, they were not allowed, I'm assuming, to use any of the characters' names that they also showed. So they were listed, the character names were Famous Big Guy with Silver Teeth. That was played by Richard Kiel, who I think was in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Famous Villain with Deadly Hat.
Okay.
Is Richard Lee Sung. Famous identifier of seaplanes, Robert N. Bell. Famous Native American sidekick, Hank Barrera. Famous assistant to Dr. Franken something, Keith Morrison. Son before second son, John Kim. Bane of the bumbling idiot yet curiously successful French detective's existence, Jesse Yoshimura, and Aaron Meyerson as himself.
Okay.
They also had out of control bus driver Cliff Emick and in Terrible Jeopardy young girls Jennifer Ingersoll and then a list. Party guests. I don't even. I guess this is at the ball.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to give you the character names because the people are not important. Mr. Gadget. Go Girl.
Okay.
Flash.
All right.
Flat top guy. Little man.
Yeah.
Zoftig woman.
Okay.
Trophy bride.
All right.
And Mr. DIC.
Okay.
Which to me might as well spell dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy Dick, I also wrote down because I know you love him, but his name is Andy Dick.
Yeah.
Ivory Dilly.
Okay.
Brian Tibbetts.
Okay.
Matt Heimlich.
Okay.
I like that one.
It's a maneuver.
We have a return, a repeat offender. But he's got an accomplice this time, Rob. Greg and Brian Smurs.
Okay.
I will always write that one down. Their last name is SMRZ, Smurs. Greg and Brian Smurs.
Mr. Snrub.
This is for Bob. I hope you're listening. There were 72 stunt people.
That sounds about right, actually.
70 fucking 2 stunt people. There weren't that many cast members.
And half of it was for Gadget.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Melissa A. Frick.
Okay.
2 more.
Frick.
Frick. Oh, Frick. Chu M. Tang.
Okay.
And finally, Hans Michael Pickle.
That's the best one.
It's
Pickle.
definitely. I saved it for last because
It's a real name.
I felt like I was sitting at I just got a turkey sandwich and we got a quart of freshly pickled pickles and we're sitting at the table with a man named Michael and a German dude and the German says Hans Michael Pickle.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's compare the movies and go home.
Okay.
Pretty intimate. So you guys are gonna have to make the ruling for me here.
Okay.
Spawn on the worst movie ever, the worst of its kind, rather, negative 25.4, but not the worst of its kind.
All right.
Gadget was negative 23 and the worst, so it's the worst of its kind, but it's slightly less percentage-wise negative.
That's a tough one because I hate both of them.
Yeah, I'm leaning Gadget.
I'll go Gadget with you on that.
Jay, do you think it's worse to be the worst of your kind or to have negative 2.4% negative?
I'm looking at Gadget as well.
Nice. Okay, sweet. That makes it an interesting little race. Okay, so Rob, you would not make Spawn. Bob would make Spawn, and it's a 2-star.
Okay.
I think we have to give it to Gadget as well here, because Bob said no, Rob said yes, and Jay, you said no, correct?
Yep.
And we had a 2.83 star plot, but 2 out of 3 would not make the movie, whereas 50% would make the movie. So, do we give it to Gadget in this case?
Yeah.
Man, why don't we call it a wash? Because 0.83 is a good. Yeah, I think we should.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 0.83 is 1 through 5. It's almost a full star.
Yeah.
So we'll call it a wash.
All right.
Dialogue Spawn was worse. Acting Spawn was worse. Gadget was tasteless. And so we are at 2-2, moving into what's the worst production, and we unanimously decided, without Bob, that the production was worse for Spawn because the whole movie sucked, whereas the third act moved. So it was actually a really close toss-up between Gadget and Spawn, but Spawn is victorious.
Okay.
You feel like that's right in your heart? Spawn is worse than Gadget?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I think Gadget's fun.
There's some fun.
There's some fun stuff. Like, if I got here's the thing. I made a very good point not to watch Inspector Gadget during the day, because if my daughter saw it and saw him jumping around with the helicopter and shit, she'd make me want to watch it every day. So
yes, that would be bad.
I think it probably does have staying power for kids. So I think that, where Spawn sucked as an adult and kids shouldn't watch it. So, so
there's
Gadget's worse. Yeah.
Okay, check this out, Rob. I'm going to just double check because it's still live, but the poll for next week.
Okay.
Okay. The results have not changed since before we started recording. We are at 59%, 41% in favor of Cliffhanger.
We've been talking about it for 3 seasons. We're finally going to do it.
We are doing Cliffhanger next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Jay, at Dusty_Penguin_112. Thank you so much for joining us again, dude. We got to make this,
again.
We'll have you on again soon. When something jumps out at you, you let us know. It's always fun.
Yeah.
And Rob, where can they find us?
They could find us at theworstmovieevermade.com. And I'm only talking like this because I'm looking for the theme song. There it is. Find us worstmovieevermade.com. Theworstmovieevermade.com. Theworstmovieevermade.com. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.